The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Well, good morning, Patriots. It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and you are listening to The Neural Right. I'm Diane Albright, and let me tell you, I've got my coffee in one hand, and my patience is already running thin with the headlines today. It is an action-packed show today, Ashley. We are looking at a world that seems to be forgetting where the brakes are, and honestly, it's about time we had a little reality check around here.
It's definitely a busy Wednesday, Diane. I'm Ashley Thorne, and honestly, after yesterday's show, I thought we'd seen the peak of the circus. I mean, we were talking about the sham wow guy running for Congress in Texas. Oh, Vince, right? And 300 million gallons of sewage in the Potomac, which is just, it's too on the nose for DC, isn't it?
It really is. It's a literal dumpster fire, only wetter.
Exactly. But today, we've got the boss deciding he's the commander-in-chief of a rock rebellion. And we've got a federal judge who thinks she's George Orwell's editor. Plus, some really disturbing developments at a youth hockey rink that show just how far the breakdown of law and order has gone.
It is a lot. But before we dive into the wreckage of Bruce Springsteen's ego, we have a quick but important update for our core listeners. We've actually added a free trial to our Patreon.
Oh, this is such a good move.
It really is. If you want to support the show and keep this independent platform growing, because Lord knows the ingrates in the mainstream media aren't going to tell you these truths, head over to patreon.com/cw.neuralnetworkmedia. You get a full PDF with every single research link and source we use for each episode, so you can do your own deep dive. And it's a 7-day free trial. Go check it out at patreon.com/neuralnetworkmedia. We want you armed with the facts when you're arguing with your liberal brother-in-law at Sunday dinner.
Give him the helmet, Diane. He's going to need it. Because we're starting with Bruce Springsteen. Let's be real. The land of hope and dreams is apparently only for people who agree with him. Yesterday, he and the E Street Band announced this this crucial tour, 20 cities, and he's calling it a rock and rebellion.
Oh, please.
Right? He says the cavalry is coming and that democracy is under attack by a wannabe king, and he's even got these no kings graphics all over his promo materials. And he's basically framing these concerts as political rallies against the administration.
Oh, give me a break. The only thing Bruce is the boss of these days is a ticket pricing algorithm that charges $3,000 for a floor seat. Honey, no, you don't get to preach to real Americans from your equestrian estate in New Jersey while calling the duly elected government a rogue regime. It's so patronizing. It's the victimhood industrial complex in a flannel shirt, Diane. He's released the song Streets of Minneapolis about those ICE operations we've been tracking. Mm-hmm.
And he's acting like he's some kind of resistance fighter. But here's the reality. People go to concerts to hear Born to Run, not to be lectured by a multimillionaire who hasn't pumped his own gas since the bicentennial. Exactly. And he's not alone. Stephen Colbert is apparently in a civil war with his own network, CBS. Wait, CBS? Yes, imagine being so radical that even CBS, the network of feel-good liberalism, thinks you've gone too far. That's the red pill moment right there when the institutions that used to coddle you finally say, hey, maybe don't alienate 50% of our advertisers tonight.
It's hilarious. They want the applause, but they can't handle the reality check. And while they're playing revolutionary on a stage with a light show, real families are dealing with the actual breakdown of law and order. And Ashley, this story out of Rhode Island, it's just heartbreaking.
It's the one at the ice rink?
Yes. Monday at the Dennis M. Lynch Arena in Pawtucket. A youth hockey match. High school kids on the ice, families in the stands, and a 56-year-old man, Robert Dorgan, who apparently used multiple aliases, opens fire on his own family during the game.
Oh, wow.
3 people dead, including the shooter and his ex-wife and his son. And the worst part, Ashley, it was captured on a youth sports live stream.
Can you imagine being a parent at work, tuning in to watch your kid play, and you watch a mass shooting happen in the stands? It's that loss of safe havens we keep talking about. Right? Life is hard. Get a helmet, but you shouldn't need a helmet in a hockey rink just to watch a game. And this isn't just an isolated tragedy, Diane. We're seeing mall takeovers and organized chaos by youth groups who think that the rules just don't apply to them anymore. As the AP and local reports are saying, these flash mobs are literally shutting down businesses while law enforcement is too understaffed to even respond. Well, that's because we've spent years telling the police they're the problem. Right. Why would anyone want to put on the badge when you have a recruitment crisis and politicians who treat criminals like the real victims? It's a total breakdown. And speaking of a breakdown, we have these student walkouts happening everywhere from North Carolina to Oregon. Oh, I've got this one, Diane. Let's be real. The common sense correction is finally hitting the schools, and the in-grades are losing their minds. Yesterday, dozens of students at T.C. Roberson High in Asheville walked out to protest ICE. And in Eugene, Oregon, over 300 kids from North Eugene High did the same thing. 300? Yeah. They were organized by the Amnesty International Club, and in Enumclaw, Washington, it actually turned violent. 2 17-year-olds were arrested for assaulting a counter-protester, and get this, the crowd tried to storm the local jail to free them. Are you kidding me? They tried to storm the jail? That's what Chief Tim Floyd reported. This isn't activism, this is radicalization in the classroom. These kids are being taught that federal law is optional if you don't like the vibe of the administration. Well, thank God for Attorney General Ken Paxton in Texas. He's already launching investigations into Dallas ISD because, surprise, surprise, it looks like the schools might be helping these spontaneous walkouts happen during class time. Of course they are. And the Department of Education is finally launching probes into 50 colleges for their DEI frameworks. The mandate is merit first. And honestly, it's about time we stopped prioritizing identity over ability. Amen to that. It's about merit, not boxes. Exactly. And speaking of people who actually build things, before we get into the international mess, let's deal with the hard reality. Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up. And don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder and you support the mission. I love that. Support the builder. Because the people trying to tear things down are everywhere right now, including in Geneva. Diane, you were looking at the peace talks over in Switzerland? Yes, and I have to say, I'm kind of loving Zelensky's new energy. He reportedly lost it today and told the Russian negotiators, "We don't have time for this shit." Wait, really? Yes, according to the transcripts, the Russian lead negotiator, Vladimir Medinsky, who is a total Putin crony, spent hours talking about historical grievances instead of actual security. Zelensky basically said, "We're done playing the stalling game." Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to disagree with you there, Diane. Oh. I'm sorry, but swearing at negotiators isn't strength, it's desperation. And Zelensky is publicly attacking President Trump now, saying it's not fair that Washington is asking Ukraine for concessions. Here's the reality. You can't demand billions of dollars from American taxpayers and then complain when the person paying the bills asks you to find a way to end the war. Oh, please. He's fighting for his country's survival while Russia swaps negotiators just to restart the clock. I think the bluntness is refreshing. It's a reality check for the Kremlin. It's not a reality check if you alienate your biggest ally, Diane. If he keeps biting the hand that feeds him, he's going to find himself very alone in Geneva very quickly. President Trump is looking for peace through strength, not war through infinite spending. Well, we'll see whose strategy wins out, but meanwhile, the Iranians are closing the Strait of Hormuz for exercises. If you think gas prices are high now, honey, wait until they start blocking the oil lanes. Right? Life is hard. Get a helmet and a bicycle at this rate. But let's look at the courts, because this Ministry of Truth ruling in Philly is just absolute insanity.
Oh, I saw this. This is the National Park Service one?
Yes, federal judge Cynthia Roof, who apparently thinks she's a literary critic now, issued an injunction to stop the government from removing a slavery exhibit in Philadelphia. And she didn't just cite the law, she opened her opinion with a direct quote from George Orwell's 1984. Are you kidding me? I'm not. She literally wrote, as if the Ministry of Truth in George Orwell's 1984 now existed, and then went on to compare the administration to Big Brother because they wanted to update a federal park exhibit.
Oh, the irony. A judge who is part of the elite branch that nobody elected, calling the people's representatives authoritarian while she dictates policy from the bench. It's the angle, but with a gavel.
It's ridiculous. And meanwhile, the Ohio Supreme Court had to waste time ruling on whether boneless wings are actually wings.
Uh-huh.
A guy sued because he found a bone in his boneless wing, and the court actually had to say, look, boneless is a description of the dish, not a biological guarantee.
At least someone in Ohio has some common sense left. Imagine being the judge who has to sit through a 3-hour hearing on a chicken nugget.
It's a joke, but it shows you how litigious we've become. Everyone is a victim, even when it comes to their appetizers.
It really is a victimhood industrial complex. And while we're talking about things not working, let's look at the economic reality for the rest of us. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index slipped in January to 99.3.
Right.
7 of the 10 index components were down, and the uncertainty index jumped 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Small business owners are terrified to expand because they don't know what the government is going to do next, especially with the Department of Homeland Security in a partial shutdown.
Well, and the price trap, Diane, 32% of owners still plan to raise prices. It's one of the highest readings in 3 years. So even if the elites tell you inflation is over, the people actually selling things are telling you the floor is still rising.
It is, and the insurance costs? 13% of owners say the cost of insurance is their biggest problem. I'm telling you, between the green bus fleets that freeze in the winter and the taxes in blue states, it's no wonder everyone is moving to Florida and Texas.
It's the Great Migration for a reason. But we have to talk about the kids again, because this cannabis study, this is something that needs more attention.
Oh, the high potency stuff?
Exactly. Recent reports from the Canadian Medical Association show a 60% increase in psychotic disorders diagnoses among young people. Here's the reality. The weed people are smoking today is 25% THC, not the 4% stuff from the 90s.
Hummy, no, some of those vapes are 95%.
Exactly. And it's literally causing a biological link to psychosis. It floods the brain with dopamine, the same marker as schizophrenia.
We're raising a generation that's chemically unraveling because we want it to be progressive about legalization.
It's heartbreaking, and it's why common sense has to come back into the room. We can't keep sacrificing the mental health of the children for the sake of a cool policy.
Right? Life is hard. Don't make it harder by frying your brain before you're 20.
Amen. On a more somber note, Diane, we did lose a major figure yesterday. Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away at 84.
He was a titan. There's no denying that.
He really was. He's been a cornerstone of the movement for 64 years. And I have to give credit where it's due. Vice President J.D. Vance's statement was incredibly respectful. He acknowledged that while we might have disagreed with his methods or his politics, we can respect his commitment to his beliefs.
And President Trump even shared those old photos of them together from the 80s. He called him a force of nature. It's a rare moment where everyone can step back and acknowledge a life of service. Even when we were on opposite sides of the aisle,
It's a bit of common sense in a crazy world, even for just a moment.
But the peace will not last long because we are officially in the trench warfare phase of the 2026 midterms.
This is the main event, Diane, and the map is It's fascinating. The Republicans have a trifecta right now, but it is the narrowest margin in modern history.
218 to 214 in the House, right?
Exactly. Every single special election is a tipping point. We've got GA 14, Marjorie Taylor Greene's old seat, coming up for a special election on March 10th, and there are vacancies in New Jersey and California that could literally flip the balance of power before November.
And the Democrats are playing dirty with the creative cartography, according to the Green Papers and various legal reports. We're seeing these mid-decade redistricting wars.
Oh, absolutely. In New York and Illinois, they're trying to draw Republicans out of existence. It's not about fair representation. It's about using a Sharpie to stay in power.
Give me a break. It's so transparent. But the Senate map, that's where the GOP has a real opportunity. We're defending 24 seats, which sounds like a lot. But the Democrats are stuck defending 13 in some really purple places. Oh, absolutely. Georgia is the big one. Jon Ossoff is up for re-election, and Michigan and North Carolina have open seats because of retirements. If the GOP can stay focused on kitchen table issues and stop falling for the media's wannabe king narrative, they could expand that 53-seat majority significantly. If only staying focused was a Republican strength. But honestly, the base is fired up about the great institutional correction. People want to see the merit-based system restored. They want the schools back, and they want the border closed. It's about cultural momentum, Diane. The left has the celebrities. They have Bruce Springsteen and Stephen Colbert, but we have the real Americans who are tired of being told they're the problem. Right. And it's not just the politics, it's the culture. Look at the Pokemon thing. Oh, I was hoping you'd bring this up. Logan Paul, the wrestler, just sold a Pikachu card for $16.4 million. $16 million? Yes, a piece of cardboard. While at the same time, Gene Hackman's estate is in probate court because of a chilling mistake in his paperwork. He had $80 million, but because he didn't update his trust after his lawyer died, his family is fighting over credit card debts and taxes.
That is the ultimate reality check right there. You can have all the fame in the world and $16 million Pokemon cards, but if you don't have your own house in order, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You have to take personal responsibility, whether it's your estate planning or your voting record. Exactly. Life is hard. Get a helmet and maybe a good estate lawyer while you're at it. Amen to that, honey. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the ice rink to the international stage. It was a solid show. Lots to think about as we head into the rest of the week. And don't forget, if you want the research, if you want to see the Ministry of Truth ruling for yourself, head over to our Patreon. 7-day free trial, patreon.com/neuralnetworkmedia. We'll be back tomorrow with more common sense in a crazy world. Stay sharp, everyone. Keep the faith, Patriots. We'll talk to you then.